Let's set up my XV88 to receive information from the computer. Now, you should be aware that the XV88, the 5080, they're all very similar. So what I'm showing you here is going to be very similar on those devices. Doesn't matter if you have a 5080, a 5050, it should be very similar. First of all, we need to turn off the write protect. Let's go into Utility and let's select Protect. We've got two options here, internal and exclusive. We definitely want the exclusive to be turned off. I also turn off the internal. I'm not sure if it makes a difference or not. But I'm going to come here and turn off the internal. And I'm also going to turn off the exclusive. We don't need to press enter. Once we've entered the values here just by rotating this knob, that's enough. Next, I want to go to System. And you select different items from the system. System is listed here, and there's setup, MIDI, control, tune, and more options. We want MIDI. So I'm going to push this button right here. There's many pages. Now, I do want to go through some of the pages that you don't need, because I just want to tell you this first page, which is the top page here, which says RX channel 1, transmit channel 2. You don't need to change any of this. This is not going to make any difference to what you're doing as far as transferring patches to this device and sending them back to the computer. So just ignore this page. I know when things aren't working, you want to try everything, but nothing here is going to change anything. That's also true on this page, which is called Receive MIDI. This one, which is called Transmit MIDI. This one, which says System MIDI, but is related to General MIDI. That brings us to the last screen, which is also System MIDI. Device ID. We need to make sure that the device ID here matches the device ID we set up in the PC. We're doing this first, and then we're going to go to the PC. Device ID 17 is the default on most Roland devices. I've never seen anything where it's anything other than 17, but you can change it. And there's reasons to do that if you have multiple identical units, like you have 10 XV88s. So this way you could put them all on a different device ID. So you could address them individually. Not going to be an issue for us. Next, receive system exclusive. That's currently set to off. We're definitely going to need to turn that on, or it's not going to receive system exclusive information. This is also something you want to turn on when you're using the patch editor. I'm going to show you how to do patch editing later in a different video, but not now. But we need to turn this on. The last item is TX edit off. This is for when you're editing on the front panel and you need to send information to your computer in real time. There's a reason to do that when you're editing patches, but for the patch librarian that we're looking at right now, it doesn't matter if it's on or off. I'm just going to turn it on because I know I'm going to need it later. At this point, we're done. We've done everything we need to do. We've turned off the memory protect in the utility, and we've come to system mode under MIDI, and we've made sure our device ID is set for 17, and receiving system exclusive information is set to on. Let's go into the computer now and set it up so that it can talk to this device. The first thing you need to do is download the software. This is the Roland US web page for the XV88. This is their support page for the XV88. It's very nice that they still do this. The XV editor for both Mac and PC are listed at the bottom. I'm going to make this bigger so you can see the URL. You can also just go there and navigate to it and find it. Once you've got it installed, then it's time to put it to work. That's coming up next. Okay, here we are. Time to put the XV editor, or actually in this particular case, the Librarian, to good use. This is the Librarian right here, as you can see on the bottom of the screen. And this is the editor, which we'll be using in another video. Let's open up the Librarian. Here it is, and I'll just make it a little bit bigger so that we can actually get a good view of it. All right, the first thing we need to do is go to Setup and to select the target model. I'm going to be editing my XV88. So I'm going to select XV88 and I'm going to click OK. If you have one of these other models, then you can go ahead and click on them. It also does the Phantom. Now we need to go to Setup for a second time, and we need to set up our MIDI devices. You've probably done this a bunch of times when you're doing it with a DAW or other software, but I'm just covering it to make sure you know. Make sure that the device that we're going to be setting up is listed here, XV88. I'm going to select my MIDI port on my MIDI device, and I've got a bunch here. I'm going to be using my RME UFX MIDI port on MIDI port 1. Same thing for my output. Device ID. I already talked about this when I was setting up the XV88. Just make sure they're both on the same number. This is a drop down that goes up to 32. We're going to leave it on 17. This is a through port. So if you were using a rack mount module, you'd be able to trigger it from a keyboard. It's a little tricky to set up, but you'll probably figure it out if you need to do it. I don't need to do it because I'm actually using a keyboard. Let's click on OK. At this point, we should be good to go. I just want to show you there are a couple more options up here. We can set up our font here. If you want this font to be bigger, you can do that. I have it as the smallest size so you can see as many patches as possible on the screen. I just thought it would be better for the video. You can change the font color and the font type if you wish. These are just all aesthetics, and to me it doesn't really matter. I'm just interested in the functionality. So we'll get out of this. At this point, we're ready to actually transfer some information. Let's go to the rhythm sets, because there's only 4. And remember, this is only transferring the user memory. There's no real reason to store the ROM information because that's on every XV88, every XV5080. So it's only storing user information. So we've selected rhythm. There's only 4 of them. And we want to read all of them. And we'll click on all, and it'll load them into the computer. I have it showing this dialog because I knew that the first time you're going to see this dialog. Once I've made this video, I'll click Don't Show This Again, and you can do that so you don't have to look at it. Okay, as you can see, it's loaded up 4 kits: Pop Kit, Rock Kit, Jazz Kit, and the Rust Kit. And these are user kits. Now we do have some memos over here, and we can just click on a particular item, and then we can right click in the memo area, and then we can type something in. Okay, now we have 2 memos in here. Now it's important to remember this memo information does not transmit to your Roland device. It's only available in the Librarian. It's only here to remind you about something to do with these kits, these patches, these performances. So let's go ahead and save this information. If we click on File, we get a whole bunch of options. We get Save, Save As, Open SVD File, Save SVD File, and Import SMF, and Export SMF. We want to use the import and export functions to load and save our files. So I'm going to say Export SMF. I'm going to say All Data. It's going to open this dialog. I'm going to go down here. Now, there are folders in here. When you get yours, you'll only have 2 folders. I created the XV88 folder and the 5080 folder because those are the instruments I have. In these two folders, there are actually already saved files. I don't know if these are patches and performances that people don't already have, and if they're new, so they might be worth checking out. In the XV2020 folder, there's 10 of them. In the 5050, there's 17. So you might want to check those out. I don't own those two instruments, so I can't check them out. So I'm going to select the XV88 folder here, and first test mid is fine. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now it's saved. And that's all there is to saving and loading. It's also important to note that there's a help file up here. You can click on the help file. The Librarian manual will open up inside your browser. Let's take a look at the patches. So here are the patches. It hasn't loaded any of the patches in. Now, we don't have to load all of them. We could just load one of them if we wanted. So since we've selected one, now the selected is no longer grayed out. And there it is. I can also use the control button, or I can just drag across a whole bunch. And then I can use the control button to select some other individual ones. That's also true on performances. I can read them all, or I can just select one that I want to save. Or as many as I want to save. I should say make part of this particular dump. You can see that it does take quite some time to transfer all this data. This is a lot of system exclusive data for the MIDI protocol to transfer. Under View, we have Toolbar and Status Bar. We don't have to have these visible unless we want them to. And under Edit, we have some cutting and copying, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we have Andrea's Cave here. We might want to move some stuff around. Now we can do that inside our XV88 or our XV5080 or other Roland device that this Librarian can be used with. But we can also do it here, and it can save us a lot of time. So we can click on Andrea's Cave here. We can use the copy function right here. And we can decide to put that in number 36. And we can just replace it. Now that has not been sent to the device yet. If we want to send this one to the device, we would write selected. And it gets written. Now, if you go to 36, you'll find that Andrea's Cave is there. If you were already on number 36, it would seem like it wasn't written because it would still have the old name which said init performance. But as soon as you move away from it and then go back to it, you would see that it is there. Now, when we're moving things around, we can select an item here. We can copy it, and then we can insert it, and it moves everything down. This can be very helpful if you're trying to arrange your sounds and get all your pianos together or your strings together. And now all of a sudden you still have some spaces up here because you're leaving these spaces free, but you have maybe pianos and then strings and then maybe EPs, and you've got another piano sound that you want to add in here, but you don't want to have to copy every single one down one slot, you can just do the insert. That's pretty much it for this editor. It's very simple to use. It's a nice tool. There's nothing particularly fancy about it. There are lots of other MIDI Librarian programs out there that are generic in nature. This is specifically made for these Roland instruments, and it's really a good product. The best part of it, it's free. So do yourself a favor if you have an XV88 and go ahead and get this program or any of the Roland instruments that this will support. And just as a reminder, we can go back here and see the devices that it will support: the 5080, the 3080, the 5050, and the 2020. Not to mention the XV88, which is what we're using, and the Phantom. Okay, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else to tell you. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, and I'll help you the best I can. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Take care, and I'll see you in another episode soon.